Hello and welcome to CNN News 18. This is Komolika, and we are today going to discuss TMC's national plan from Bhawanipur to Goa, east or west. TMC is doing Kalahabe everywhere, and we are right now joined by one of the most senior veteran politician, veteran member of TMC, MP of TMC, Derek O'Brien, who is right now in Goa. Thanks a lot, Derek O'Brien, for joining us in our special broadcast. Welcome to CNN News 18. Derek, my first question is a quick response of, what is your expectation from the bypolls? Specifically, everybody has their eyes on Bhawanipur. So what's your take on today? Also, there was a little bit of tension there, both the parties alleging each other. So what's the feel there?
I'm sure it's the usual. The Bharatiya Janata Party know that they're going to lose the election. The Bharatiya Janata Party do all the big talk. I think, to me, the most significant thing of the Bhawanipur election and the two bypolls is not whether Mamata Banerjee is going to win the election or the two other bypolls. Is where is Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah? Where they were on every poster, they were on every banner, they were on every television channel, they were giving speeches. Why have they run away from campaigning? I think that itself tells the story of Bhawanipur. It's very, very clear that Trinamool has not only defeated the BJP in Bengal, they've decimated them. And in other parts of the country, not because I'm in Trinamool, you ask people who is the one person, who is the one leader who can take on Modi, and that is Mamata Banerjee. Not because the Trinamool is saying so. That's the reality. I've been here in Goa for the last 1 week, and I'll be here for many more weeks. But that's the sense on the ground.
Yes, so you have a big Kalahabe plan in Goa. So from there, another question comes up from east to west. Why Goa?
I mean, why not Goa? You have to have. I'm going to give you a practical, a real answer. When you are trying to expand your party, and it's a fact that we have been obviously mainly in Bengal. We've once been the opposition party in Manipur. We've had 6 MLAs in Arunachal. But now, under our new General Secretary, a dynamic young man, a two-time MP, Abhishek Banerjee, under Mamata Banerjee's leadership, the view is different. You've got to choose your battlefields. Tripura, natural choice, speak the same language, small state. Goa, small state. No use of doing bravado and saying, for the UP elections we are fighting 400 assembly. You need time. You need I don't like to say manpower because that's not gender sensitive. So you need people power. You need resources. You need time to settle down. You need civil society to believe in what you're doing. So UP will come later, 2024 Lok Sabha. But that's why Tripura, Assembly 2023, Goa 2022. And since you said why, we've identified two of these smaller states where the BJP has to be defeated. BJP means Modi Shah have to be defeated. So that's why the strategic reason to fight these two states.
So today only, the former chief minister and a very important Congress leader, Luis Yuna, he has resigned. So he is expected to make his road to Trinamool Congress.
I don't think it will be fair on my part when a senior Congress leader and a former chief minister has called a press conference at 4:30 today. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He's called his own press conference. So I think it would be completely not in good taste for me to make comments on what he will say, what he will do.
He
Listen to
has
his press
said that
conference.
Goa needs a street fighter, and Mamata Banerjee is a street fighter.
That's the truth. But, street fighters, of course, Mamata Dee is a street fighter in the positive sense of the term, absolutely. She's also been governing a state. Every time she goes for an election in that state, be it 2011, 2016, and now 2021, the Trinamool and Mahatadi have been blessed with more seats. So it's street fighter, it's good governance, and I think the key to all this is you touch people's lives and you follow the Constitution of India. That's what the choice ahead for India is today, between the Constitution of India and the BJP manifesto.
Whatever we are getting from our sources is that a lot of Congress leaders, they want to change in sides, and they are in touch with Trinamool Congress. They want to come to Trinamool Congress. Now here we see that Trinamool Congress is some way or the other targeting Congress. Why?
No, that's not true. That's not true. If you look at Goa, maybe some congressmen may join sooner rather than later. But please don't. We are not here to target a political party. The only party we're here to target is the BJP, because the BJP of their ideology and their policies, and non-delivery of promises. So it's not about. This is a mistaken notion. We want to expand, and in this expansion, we do not wish to have the high command culture, which both the BJP and the Congress have. I'm here in Goa with a few of my colleagues, senior MPs. Our General Secretary is in Calcutta, our chairperson is in Calcutta. We made it very, very clear to everybody here. This will be, for example, I can speak on Goa. I've only been to Tripura once in the last 2 months, but for Goa and in Tripura, it will be by the people of Goa, for the people of Goa, of the people of Goa. So it's not somebody from Bengal who will come here. Yes, we will be here more at the macro level, at the policy level. But otherwise, because what Trinamool mean, and people are finding it a little difficult to say Trinamool, so they say TMC. It means grassroots. Who is this lady who on the 1st of January 1998 set up this party? It is. So this is only the beginning.
So what's the feel there? What are you getting out there? How's the people reacting? You're going to villages and talking to people. That's what we came to know. What's the feel there?
Firstly, let me clarify. The Trinamool MPs who came here just didn't land up here 1 week ago. It's not our problem that no one knew, or our political opponents didn't know, that we've been here on the ground from June. We've been here on the ground from June, doing the groundwork under the radar from June. So middle of June, then July, then August. Then the party takes a call that, no, this is a little more, this is serious. We're going to fight this election, 2022. So we've been doing the groundwork, and 1 week, you've seen in 1 week where Trinamool was exactly 1 week ago and where we are today. And by the way, for the next few weeks and months, you're not going to see too many interviews with national, like MPs from Bengal. No, Goa, the people of Goa will speak, the leaders of Goa will speak, and that's the basic message, because this is the party. By the way, let me tell you, not a secret. When we meet, we've also got a civil society who plays an important role, and you know the culture of our party and how we encourage civil society. Let me tell you a small thing. The people from civil society, they are writers, they are painters, they are actors, they are theatre stars. They get touched even before we go to speak to them. I've been to a few in the last 1 week. You know why they get touched, Kamolika? Not because we are talking to them or we are finding out whether they're ready to join, etc. No, we do not call them to hotels. We go to their homes. We meet their families. We break bread with them. I'm so touched. It doesn't matter. Some of them will join, some of them will not join. But the fact that they welcome us with such warmth, and before we leave, they always say, tell Mamta she must have, how happy we were with the Bengal result. This kind of thing. It's beautiful. Now is
So
not the time
obviously,
for people to talk.
right. So the Bengal result obviously is a big boost some way or the other. But we see 2017 results in Goa, though Congress had more number of seats, but they couldn't make the government. So the general feel there, as we were also talking to people of Goa, that even if the Congress wins, they'll not be able to do the government. That feel is there. What do you think?
Yeah, so basically the voter, we believe there's no question of the fragmentation of the opposition vote. That's a theory I don't buy. The voter is sharp enough. The voter is intuitive and analytical enough to know that who has the best chance to beat the BJP in this constituency. And then she will vote for that party. Obviously, in Goa, if you vote for the Congress, you get 17 MLAs and then you still can't deliver. So there's a credibility. You know, I mean, one way to put it is that some people say here, you know, Congress all this time was a credible option, was credible at one point, but is not the alternative. And AAP, the alternative, but not credible. So I just think this is the right time for the Trinamool Congress. This is the right time, and our real job here is one, to ensure that the voice of the people, the politicians, the publics, the civil society, the people of Goa, it's them. We can't write a manifesto in Calcutta. No, we can't. We can make sure that our party policy, ideologically, let's say on land reform, we have a party policy, so that will be within the framework. And there's no question of fragmentation of the vote. Somebody asked me day before yesterday, if Mamta Banerjee comes, then you all will have a good chance if she comes. I said, don't ask me if she will come here. Just tell me, when will she come? I mean, do you think Mamta Banerjee, with 4 months to go for the election or 5 months to go, with somebody else, will she come to campaign? Now, I don't know her campaign schedule, but of course. So now it's a great opportunity, and it's not about Mamta Banerjee only or Trinamool Congress or the plans. No, it's about the people of Goa. The people of Goa have to bring back what has been snatched away from them. Who will bring it back? They will bring it back.
Right. But from that mandate, Congress will have a pie, AAP will have a pie, and Trinamool will have a pie. What will happen to the national unity projection? And last 2 days, we have been seeing that National General Secretary, he is repeatedly hitting Congress. Even Mamta Banerjee yesterday said that Trinamool is the only alternative. So is BJP only the target?
No, it is not. What is the Trinamool saying? We need to remove the bigoted, the people who disrespect the constitution, the people who make promises 7 years ago and cannot deliver, the people who bulldoze farmer bills, the people who can't handle price rise, the people who want to sell every asset, every jewel of the nation. That's the BJP. Now, who can do this? For all this time, we thought that the Congress can do it. Now, this woman, this lady, has shown you in Bengal how the BJP can be defeated. So, we have the best chance. So, it's not about opposition unity. Everyone spoke about opposition unity before the Bengal polls, didn't they? Oh, if the Congress, the CPM, and the Secular Front and the Trinamool come together, then it will be better chance. What happened? Everyone fought. We fought. The others got 0 seats. In Goa, that is the challenge, and that is the real challenge in the next 4-5 months. That the voter in Goa needs to know that this candidate of Mamta Banerjee's TMC, and I'm using TMC more often now because it's difficult to say Trinamool. It's a little, for those who don't know Bangla. So we are saying TMC. And in our whole approach to this, it is not a high command. Very, very clear. No.
That means you're hitting Congress. High command is a Congress culture.
No, not at all. My gosh. Who changed 4 chief ministers? Why do you all assume, sometimes you are credible journalists also. I say credible journalists, but sometimes credible journalists work on not so credible channels, like your News 18. I'm on the digital platform. I don't want to say anything about the digital platform,
He's not on
but
the channel, not about
the television, you'll run up promos. You'll run promos. What was that? The Modi untold story. Was that anything to run? Anyway, I don't want to bash you on that because that maybe your
Yeah, because
editors ran.
that's not the topic at hand. That's my
Because you're telling me
organization.
high command. Again, you're being sweet. You're telling me only
So
Congress is high command.
that generally, the high
BJP is high
command
command.
thing is more used by
No, no,
Congress.
no.
That's what I'm referring.
That's very unfair on the Congress to call only Congress high command. The
Hmm.
equal high command, if not the bigger high command, is Modi and Shah. Who changed the chief ministers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who changed? What did Mr. Gadkari say? Is he with the Congress or with the Trinamool? Mr. Gadkari in Rajasthan, less than 2 weeks ago, made a statement, transport minister of the country, and he said the chief ministers in India don't know when their terms are finishing. So, this is a myth that only the Congress has a high command culture. The BJP has a bigger high command culture. This is a myth that the Congress has a dynastic culture. The BJP has a bigger dynastic culture. So don't make this into a fight between the Trinamool and the Congress. No, it is the BJP which is the principal target, and the Congress who were not performing either inside parliament or some of the states. That's where there was a space, and that's where we're moving in.
And nationally, in terms of alternatives, Trinamool is the only alternative which can defeat BJP. That's what been the Bengal results. After Bengal results, that's what been the nation is saying. And then from Goa, and if you can crack Goa, do you think that theory will, that will be more, properly established that it is Trinamool who can actually take head on to BJP?
I think at this stage, we haven't moved into any of the bigger states yet. So it's a pretty well thought out strategy. As I said at the top of your interview, that you need time, you need people, you need resources, you need understanding. So we have chosen 2 states, Tripura and Goa. One by one, it will happen later. There's no use doing, unnecessary big talk. Trinamool is not one big talk, but we are launching 20 state units in 20 different locations in 20 different states. That's all big talk. So we are going slow and steady. And one other thing I'll tell you from Goa, which I picked up, is that people and public servants, they appreciate this new policy of ours, which is one person, one post. So if somebody is
Hmm.
the state president of the party, the chief ministerial face may be somebody different. So that's how it works. So one person, one post is a good thing. Plus, it gives more people to. And if you look at this one word, credibility. I know we say Mamta is a street fighter, but when it comes to credibility, look at her position on demonetization. Not because the Trinamool Rajya Sabha MPs and spokespersons are saying so. Look at her position on demonetization. November 8th, 2016. When did the Congress oppose demonetization? Please check the modern history record. It's Shiv Sena who joined us, not Aam Aadmi Party. Only 2 other parties. Umar Abdullah marched with Mamta Banerjee against demonetization on the 16th of November. 16th of November. Shiv Sena joined us. Shiv Sena, they were not allies, they were NDA allies. What happened? Where was the Congress? Where was the Aam Aadmi Party? And so Mamta Banerjee, demonetization. You look at the farm laws. I'm talking about the land laws. I beg your pardon. The land
Yeah.
laws. Look at the position of Trinamool in 2006. I can write a book on that now. Where are those big auto companies? Where are those big auto companies? So, and rights of farmers. So, if you track, and not that everything
Track the
which
movements of Trinamool, it will be there that Trinamool is the
no,
only party which comes up first and
no,
reacts
no, no, no,
first
no,
and
no.
do the
Mostly
movements.
consistent. Hold on, mostly consistent. Is Trinamool some
Hmm.
perfect political party which never ever changes its stance on an issue? Of course not. I mean, that would be so arrogant of me to even say that. Okay? Like, for example, I'll give you one GST. We always were for GST, we warned the government against the implementation of GST. At one time, we had a view on buns. The view has evolved. Now, we are anti-bun. So it's not that Trinamool has one view. So for the next 30 years, Trinamool will only have one view. No, we're not so, it's not cast in marble. So mostly very, very credible, but there are our views on selling the nation's assets, be it railway, be it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there again, one question comes up. AAP is one of your best friends, Mr. Kejriwal. But then again, when fighting Goa, don't you think that AAP Trinamool equation will, hamper? And how will you see AAP when you will be fighting Goa?
You see, you guys, say best friend. We have friends with. I have friends in. What's wrong? We have friends in Congress. We have. I mean, at a personal level, you can have friends with. We have friends across all parties. There's nothing wrong in having friends. But the Aam Aadmi Party, that's they are anti-BJP. But the questions you all keep asking me about the Aam Aadmi Party, I have to remind you that very humbly, that how many MPs in Lok Sabha does the Aam Aadmi Party have? One. So these are things which will carry on in the next few months. I think the target is BJP.
So when you are actually on the field, on the battleground.
No, I'm not on the battleground.
That will be when you'll be on the vote battleground. That time, everybody who fights, who contests, he will be obviously, the opposition to you, right? That we can go. And from there, obviously, nationally, how do you see?
Firstly, Komolika, I promised you 10 minutes. It's become 20 minutes. So nationally, this country needs the BJP out. Nationally, the institutions need to be strengthened. These are the bigger issues. It's not only Trinamool and A party, B party. The bigger issues. Nationally, the media has to get free from not carrying stories that the Prime Minister switches his sleep cycle when he goes to one country, then when he flies back, he sleeps and switches his sleep. These are carried today in your Noida papers. What are we doing? You see some of the trash which your channel, not the only one, you're not the only one, who puts out at prime time today, which is divisive and such bigoted stuff. The media has to speak up. When you do a program on your channel and it says a look at Modi, I mean, it's like a promotion you'll do. So the media, the judiciary, civil society, so many institutions, look at the agencies, look at the election commission. This is what we need to fight for. We're not fighting for, win one election there, win one election there. No. These are the bigger issues which were enshrined in the Constitution of India. That's the fight. And the RSS and the BJP have a different view on India. That's the fight. And I think everybody in the opposition,
since we are directly connecting it from Goa, a little bit of network problem, though little bit of network problem is there. Yeah. So if you can say it once again, about 2024, because there's huge network issue. I can understand you have been trying and our network is not in our hand. Just very briefly, if you say your
network is not good. I don't know. Mine is fine. Can you hear me now?
Now can you hear?
Yeah. So 2024, this thing about the opposition being fragmented is not the story. The story is why are BJP changing their The story is why are BJP changing their chief ministers in 4 states. The story is what are the promises on employment and a whole host of issues, price rise on diesel prices, petrol prices. What were the promises you made in 2014, then again in 2019, and people believed you. People saw hope in Modi. That today, even a union minister of yours who was with you for 7 years is saying, no more. Why? Because promises were not delivered. These are the issues.
Right.
Opposition unity is not the issue.
So we
It's one of the minor issues. Has Modi delivered? Has the BJP delivered? Or they've only tried to usurp all these institutions and weaken democracy? Parliamentary democracy, though, I can do another half an hour show with you or any of your colleagues to tell you how parliamentary democracy in parliament. I mean, I shouldn't say this. Being in parliament now for more than 10 years, I shouldn't say this because I know there are lots of young people who'll be watching this program and they'll be disappointed. I'm just beginning to wonder, should I really focus here and not do the winter session of parliament and continue to do my party work in Goa? Because the way they have strangulated parliament.
So,
ठीक है,
2020, yeah, 2024, it's a big fight, and obviously Goa, it's a big fight, and we'll see Derek O'Brien there, the entire Trinamool team there, how they are performing, and we'll give you all updates. Thanks a lot, Derek O'Brien, for joining us in our special broadcast. Thanks a lot.